Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. This here is Dion Kuinlan. He is a defensive back out of Assumption University. Nice to have you here, sir.
I'm excited to be on, and thank you for having me on as well.
Sure thing. I feel like a lot of people need to get to know you. I had a fantastic season for Assumption. Was named first team all conference, a load of other awards, all American. So, bro, let's go ahead and get after it. Dion, go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get started.
I'm Dion Quinlan, originally from Long Island, New York, but played football at Assumption. I attended Assumption University stood there for 5 years, and yeah, I'm excited to be here today and to talk with you.
Cool. So, did a lot of great things this season. Again, as I had mentioned, was named an All American, first team All Conference there in the NE10, and was named Cliff Harris Award finalist. That being one of the top Division II defensive players. Again at your level of play. So, cool. So, Dion, just kind of want to walk through this story with you of yours, and that being, let's go ahead and get started from the beginning. How long have you played football?
I've been playing football probably since I could. The youngest age I could. I know watching my brother as I was growing up, my dad really got me into it. But watching my brother had a big influence on me. But yeah, I've been playing since I could. And I know my parents got me into it really young. So yeah, since I could really.
Cool. And also have in my notes, attended Plain Edge High School in New York, and along with football, did some baseball and basketball there. So, talk to me about your high school days, and then we'll move on a little bit. So, maybe give me one of your best memories.
My best memory from high school was definitely winning the Long Island Championship our senior year. We went 12-0, and we did it with all the guys that we grew up with. So everyone that you played Pee Wee with, and middle school, and then eventually we all got to high school together. Definitely, that was the best memory, hands down. Nothing could top that. You know, it's the best feeling.
Cool. And as I had mentioned, some baseball, some basketball. You do those things just more or less for fun, or you get anywhere with those sports, or no?
Um, Football was always my main focus, really, but I kind of did those to stay in shape and do something different, like get away from football a little bit, but also keep my body in shape. So basketball and baseball, they were. I was competitive in it, but they were more or less to keep doing sports in a sense.
I kind of wanted to ask because sometimes guys are playing multiple sports in high school, and sometimes even might have had opportunities to do that at the next level. So but I'm assuming for you, it was mainly just football. No one offered you like a baseball scholarship or anything.
No, yeah, that was off the table, but um, yeah, it was. I always knew football was going to be my main thing, trying to go to college and play in college. So for me, that was always my main focus. I think I put more towards that than anything else.
Gotcha. So, let's go ahead and walk through your recruiting. And Dion, just kind of share what made you committed to Assumption, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so throughout my uh, high school career, I really wasn't heavily recruited really at all. I was like a 4 year varsity starter, and I didn't really have like I felt like I was just some people say like they were under recruited, but I truly felt I was under recruited. Um, I played at the varsity level for 4 years, like which isn't big nowadays, but yeah, I had like the D3, D2, which is there's nothing wrong with that. I just felt I put in more effort to earn a scholarship at Division 1, like a Division 1 level. But then I was sending emails out, doing everything I could. Some people don't answer, some people do. They get back to you. But it was hard. Probably one of the hardest times of my life, not knowing where I was going to go. But then Assumption reached back out to me, and from there I took a visit and I was like, I gotta go here. Like this is the place that's giving me an opportunity. So that was the spot. I was like, I gotta come here, and they opened their arms to me, and I never looked back. So
Cool. So they go ahead and they bring you in, and I don't know exactly how things were when they recruited you, like if they were recruiting you to play uh what position? I mean, I know we know you best as a safety, but I mean, were you plugged in immediately somewhere? Like how did that work out? How did you ultimately fit into that defense?
yeah, I mean, they plugged me in as a safety, but I think truly they recruited me as like a nickel type position. Um, but then I moved to safety. And there was also some coaching changes going on as I came in, so that played into it. But yeah, I found my spot at free safety though. That's where I thrived at. So
Gotcha. So, I mean, when we're looking at you as a prospect, though, I mean, I'm assuming what we're doing is we're looking you at in that more or less safety slash nickel role.
Mhm.
Would that be a correct assumption?
Yeah, for sure. I could most likely play anywhere in the back, the back set.
Cool. The pun was intended, but it wasn't received, I suppose. But anyways, you'll go back and you'll look at it and you'll laugh. But anyways, uh, go ahead. But let's continue to talk through things here. I mean, again, being a part of that defense, describe that defense a little bit for people that aren't as familiar with it. Kind of walk us through a little bit. I don't need to know all the terminology or anything, but like, how would you describe the way that you guys, I don't know, work there in that defense?
Yeah, this is actually pretty simple for me because this is what you learn the first thing. But it's everyone has to do their job. I mean, every team talks about that. If someone doesn't fit right, then this messes up the next person, and you basically have to trust everyone on the team to do their job and then run to the ball as hard as humanly possible. So, in the base sense of things, if you don't do your job, then you're messing up everyone else. So that's the best way I could put it.
Gotcha. And of course, with a guy like you, I mean, you're team captain. You're one of the leaders, so a lot of people are coming to you. Uh, Talk to me about what it means to be a team captain there for Assumption.
It was probably the best thing like ever. I always wanted to be a college football team captain, and it was one of my goals going into college. But I got voted by my teammates, obviously, which they were awesome. I mean, I love my teammates. But being a captain, like, there's a lot. It's basically a lot more than just football. Like, it's everything. It's you see your teammates, around school doing stuff. Like, it's everything. So people who think like, oh, I want to be a captain, it's just about being the best player. No, it was everything else. Like we did so much outside of football. Like we set up a standard for ourselves. We wrote rules down. It's a whole thing, but I'm not going to get into it. But
No, I get it. I mean, you're the representative for your team, and like you need to
yeah.
be like, the best of the best, and you need to represent, very well. So,
Mhm.
um, how about your time there at Assumption as a student, if you don't mind us, kind of talking about that before we move forward? When did you get your degree?
So I recently just got my degree. I extended my undergrad because I wanted to come back and be eligible for my last year. So I extended my undergrad
Mhm.
and I got to walk in this past spring, but I technically received my degree just this past fall. So
Gotcha.
had
In what?
I got a degree in marketing.
Marketing. Okay. So sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know where that will lead you,
it's
but
very broad, but
yeah, it's fairly broad. So I mean, obviously, right now, Dion, we're trying to market you as a prospect. So as we're marketing you as a prospect, what do you feel is the best thing that you have going for you as a prospect? What is maybe one of your best attributes as a player?
as a player, I think my decision making is my best, attribute. It's one of my strong points. I mean, I might not be the fastest, off the field, but during a play, you'll definitely know. You'll be like holy shit, this guy's moving. Like once I know what I'm doing, like for the most part, I always know what I'm doing. But on the field, you can see there's a distinct like, okay, this dude's in a little different gear than everyone else. And
I mean,
yeah.
obviously you were on point enough so that you weren't just given the acknowledgement by your teammates, but actually your entire conference. They gave you the distinction of being the conference defensive player of the year this past season, which is pretty cool. Um, uh, in my notes, 97 tackles, 73 of which were solo this past season, is what you were credited for per your guys' website. Um, so let's continue to talk about this past season, man. I mean, I was kind of going through some of your games, and I felt like there was a few games that maybe we can sit here and talk through. So, for you, what would you say is maybe one of your better games this past season?
I would say against Bentley was probably my best game, stat wise. I would say.
Well, that's what I had in my notes. I figured you'd talk about it. So go ahead and talk about it more. 15 tackles, one interception in that game. Very close, tight defensive matchup.
Yeah, it probably one of the craziest games me and my teammates have ever played in. But um, I didn't like we had our game plan, and we were sticking with it. And it was a lot of blitzing man coverage. Everyone had to do their job, and all week we focused on that. But that game, it was just do your job, do your job, do your job over and over. Get up, next play, get up, next play. And at the end of the game, you look at the stat sheet and you're like, wait, I had 15 tackles. So it's like it was like during the game, you don't think about like, oh, I want to get this tackle. I'm gonna do my job and like you know keep your teammates in with you. But it's like everyone just do their job over and over again. And we'll come out with a win. And like in games like that, it's who's not going to do their job first. Like you were talking about how tight it was. Yeah, it was insane. Like, and we were on the field for a lot of the defense especially. But we're just like, let's
Obviously,
do our
I mean, you
job.
guys came out with a victory, 16-13.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So,
sure we didn't have an offensive touchdown either, which is crazy. But
but a
that
victory is a victory. You gotta,
that's how it goes.
gotta
We just had
celebrate what you have. So,
exactly.
uh, obviously, Dion can't do it alone. Gotta give a shout out to some of the guys that you play alongside. So, go ahead and do that, man. Who else there at Assumption do we need to know about?
The whole defense, and this year was my favorite group of players I played with. We had a young D line, so the D line was huge. I mean, I've told them this plenty of times how proud I am of them, even though people mess up, people do, it happens. But when you're young, you got to go through that. So the D line, the linebackers, some of them were getting their first, start like real starting positions this past year, and they did great. I mean, we're on the field a lot. We had a lot on our shoulders, but I think we did the best we could. And then the back seven, probably, I mean, all the corners, the safeties, I mean, they were my favorite group because we're around each other a lot. But I mean, like I was just super proud of everyone, and being able to be voted a captain by them, it just makes me, made me want to work harder for them. So I'm super proud of the whole defense, especially. Um, yeah, they
Oh,
they already know that,
no,
but
you're good. So along these lines, I mean, obviously, man, I know you wanted to give a shout out to everybody, and that's fair, that's fine. But I'm sure a lot of people have really helped you along in this journey. Maybe some specific people, whether it be teammates, coaches, or perhaps other people outside of football. Who has been the most influential person or people for you in your athletic journey?
Um, I mean, I get this is an easy one. Coach Blevins, he was our defensive coordinator. He will change my life, like no doubt. Just being a better person first, and then a football player. He changed my life for sure.
And you had mentioned before although not now, but you mentioned before, like the influence from your family,
Mhm.
specifically, your brother, you had mentioned that he had played as well. Talk about him and his impact on you as a person and player.
Yeah, growing up watching him when he was in high school, he was a stud player. His team was very good. Their team was very good. So watching in the stands, it's like that's my brother, but like at the same time, you're like, damn, when I get that age, I want to be just as good, if not better. So I've always been a competitive person, so I always wanted to be better, um, especially growing up. But yeah, he always, he helped me. He would talk to me, text me before certain games and stuff like that. Just be like, just be you, just do you, and just little advice like that. So
So being a competitive guy, who's better now?
definitely me. I'm not hearing that, but I'm really competitive. So yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, Dion, put together a solid career there for Assumption University, putting you in a position to get an invite to the College Gridiron Showcase, which is an all-star game in Fort Worth. Talk about your time there, because I mean, I know you were there for a few days. Talk me through maybe like I don't know, the ins and outs. I mean, what you did on the daily, and how you, I don't know, how you went about things there.
Mm. Yeah, so obviously I prepared like crazy to go down there 2 weekends ago now, I think it was. But yeah, the experience was crazy. I mean, it was great. But yeah, the Saturday was the main day. We're there from Friday to Sunday. Saturday we got off the bus. We were at SMU, which was pretty cool at the indoor facility. Um, but we did Indy to start, and then one on ones. But there was competition everywhere. Every rep is your most important rep, especially with scouts watching. So, um, you know, I think I did my best, covering one on ones and things like that, and showing I can move really well, regardless of the competition that I was going against. And then
So
on Sunday, yeah, it
go
was just
on, you're good.
Sunday was just like a 7-on-7 type thing, which was we wrapped it up with that. But Saturday was the biggest day, I think.
Cool thing again, as you had mentioned, I mean, you're up against competition from damn near anywhere and everywhere. Whether it be you know, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Canadians all over the place. People are
Yeah.
coming down to Fort Worth, Texas. So I mean, definitely interesting to go one on ones against these people. Um, how'd you think you did against like some of the better guys down there? I mean, who'd you bump into player wise?
There were players from all over. I mean, specifically, I remember I think I got a rep against a Florida State slot receiver. Um, I think I also went up against someone from USF. Um, and then there were some tight ends from all over, which I got some reps against. I also took a corner rep too. It was good though. All over. I can't even remember, you know.
I
And
mean,
then there's some,
it's nice that you did actually also take some corner reps,
yeah.
because I feel like that might be something that teams might be looking at you as, and that is maybe perhaps a corner at the next level, slot corner. Um, Obviously, a guy whose most reps have been at safety, but we'll see what how teams look at you, man. I mean, it's definitely interesting that you were able to go down to Texas and perform there and prepare yourself to continue through this athletic journey of yours. What are you doing these days as you continue to prepare?
Every day is basically filled with some sort of training or something to better myself as a player. Um, so in the mornings I have training, get done around like usually like 1:30, go in early. It's long days though, but this is everything you've ever worked for, so it's not a big deal for me. This is my life. So yeah, a lot of training, a lot of rest time, and yeah, a lot of time with my family right now. But I wouldn't rather have it any other way.
Cool. Well, Dion, it's been nice to get to know you as a football player. Want to get to know the guy under the helmet now, if you don't mind. I mean, share something about you that maybe not everybody knows, whether it be a fun fact, maybe your overall interests, your hobbies, um, if you have any special talents. I don't know what you want to share about yourself, man, but give me something to share with people.
So something, well, I still do a little bit, but not as much because, obviously a lot of stuff going on. But I used to play competitive gaming. Um, it's something I used to do. I stopped because some unhealthy habits, but staying up late at night. But this was a while ago. But I still enjoy playing some video games, Call of Duty especially. But I also just love watching football, the playoff games that have been on. I think being able to like sit down now that I know more about the game and watch games and just be like, that's a great play. Like some things that most people who just watch football and never played wouldn't see that you appreciate. I think is I love doing that. So watching football, watching any sort of competitive sport, and then spending time with my family. I mean, that's huge for me, especially during this time because they support me a lot. So
Gotcha. So, growing up in New York, who are you a big fan of?
I never really had. I was never really a big fan of any sports teams. I like the Yankees, of course, but I don't want to talk about it. Um, and I like the Jets and the Giants. I'm not really a true fan of either one, but I hope one of them succeeds.
Well, good luck. I don't know how that's
Yeah,
gonna work
I'm in
out.
a little spot right there,
Yeah,
but
you're in a lull. It's fine.
yeah.
But uh, want to see if I could throw some other fun questions your way. Just to get a little bit more out of you. So uh, I don't know. I don't know where this one will go, but I mean, Dion, is there maybe like a favorite vacation spot of yours that you love to go to? Of course, outside of your hometown, or maybe even like a list place that you'd love to visit someday.
My favorite place to go to is Puerto Rico. We used to go there a lot when I was younger, but now that everyone is growing up, yeah, we haven't been able to go. But that's a great spot. Very relaxing, and the weather is literally always nice. I don't think I've ever been there and it wasn't. So that's my spot.
Food's good too,
Yeah. Oh,
for
yeah. Of course.
what it's worth. Um,
Yeah.
cool. A couple other fun questions. Maybe it might be as simple word or sentence for some of these, but uh, favorite breakfast cereal,
Uh, Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks. Okay.
You're like
Uh,
next question.
no, yeah, yeah, no, you're good. Growing up as a kid, and if you could try to take things back to when you were maybe like 6, 7 years old, uh, favorite cartoon growing up?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
That
Okay,
was an
fine.
easy one.
That's fine. What about I'll give you this one, and this might take you out of your comfort zone. I don't know, but Dion, it's karaoke night. I'm handing you the microphone. What are you singing?
Rod Wave. I don't know if you know who that is, but
Hmm.
yeah,
All right,
I could probably sing any song by him, which I'm not going to do right now, but
all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. You had mentioned obviously, fan of a lot of different football. What about football movie? Do you have a favorite football movie?
um, I don't have a favorite one. I don't think.
Okay. What was the last one you watched then?
um, damn, I don't know.
You, come on, man. I'm trying to give people something. So, um,
um,
all
I'm
right.
trying to think.
I'll switch gears to encompass all movies in general. What was the last movie you saw?
Wolf of Wall Street, which is probably my favorite one.
All right, good, good.
out of all
Give
the movies.
give people a little something. So,
No, I was trying. I
um,
don't remember the last one.
no, no, you're fine. Let's say, bro, talk about your hometown. Like if I were to come visit you there, in New York, uh, maybe a fun spot to go to, there, or something. Give me something about that.
There's a lot of different restaurants around here. But yeah, I would say the best thing to do is go out to eat. I don't really go out that much like socially, but you know, there's a lot of different restaurants. So the food, I would say we would have to get some food or something like that.
Pizza joint or something? Can you give me a pizza joint that maybe you frequent?
um, we go. I my family gets pizza from Papa Del's, which is like right down the block from me. But that place is good.
All right, good. Appreciate that. Favorite pizza topping?
I like regular pizza, but I also like chicken bacon ranch.
There you go. Love the uniqueness of it. So, Dion, we've been talking a little bit about everything from football to chicken bacon ranch pizza. Uh, we
Yeah.
want to wrap things up with our time. Obviously, you put on a showcase for the people at the you know College Gridiron Showcase there in Fort Worth, and continue to do so, and want to do so at the next level. As we close up, go ahead and talk to all the scouts out there who might have some doubts about you, or anyone out there. Tell them why you would make a great addition to their football team. Go for it.
Yeah. If you turn on the film, I think it's pretty simple. Um, I think my speed on the field is unmatched, and I think the ability to make a play and do my job over and over again is very unique. And yeah, all I need is the opportunity for sure. So hoping someone could take a chance on me for sure.
Awesome. Again, All American this season, was named uh, Defensive Player of the Year for the NE10 Cliff Harris Award finalist, and a whole lot of other accolades there for you, Dion. And we'll see what happens, here forward. But whatever it is, man, best of luck to you. Okay.
All right, thank you very much for having me on. It's been a blast.
Cool. Again, I have with me Dion Kuinlan, defensive back, Assumption University. Check him out.